Welcome to MagicGatheringStrat. This is your friend Dom once again, doing in all the Theros 8-4 on Magic Online, and starting with this pack. I think the two best cards in here are red, being Lightning Strike and Stone Shock Giant. Of the two, I do prefer Lightning Strike just because it's cheaper. Stone Shock Giant is very strong, but in your 5-drop slot you often have a lot of options, and Lightning Strike is really unique in that it's an instant that deals with most of the threats in the format, not all of them, which is why I don't consider it the best common in the set. I like Voyages and a little bit more, I think, but still it's very solid, and I think it's the pick here. Timoret the Murder King is interesting, and starting with it you can really you could build around it, but I think Lightning Strike overall is going to be more solid. I'm not running that well on Magic Online with this set lately, but hope to change that. Here I think I'm going to go for Perforos's Emissary. I think it's the strongest card in the pack. I also really like Sealock Monster. I like Pharika's Cure a fair amount, and Rage of Perforos is decent, but for 5 mana, just dealing 4 damage, not dealing with like these big dudes, just seems a little bit too clunky in my opinion. I came down on the card pretty. The card went down on my pick list. It went way down. So I think Perforos's Emissary is clearly the stronger choice. The rest of the pack is pretty average. Sealock Monster I think is the second best card for me. And so we get our choice of emissaries. Let's see if we go for elk or snake here. Yeah, I think the rest of the pack is not really in contention. I think I'm gonna go for Heliod's Emissary. I think it's more powerful just as a card, and I also do like red-white more than red-black. And yeah, this is why I'm gonna pick that. The rest of the pack is decent, but not insane or anything. We could maybe wield this Akron Crusader, who knows, or this Lagonaband Elder. I mean, we're not married to red-white at this point. Like, looking at this pack, we see not many red cards. Yeah, this might turn out a little bit different than we planned it. I think Sentry of the Underworld is a pretty strong card. Also Read the Bones and Last Breath. Last Breath I don't really like all that much. I think I'm gonna go for Sentry of the Underworld. As I said, 5 drops are really a dime a dozen, but this one is pretty strong. It's like a mini Serra Angel. What other options do we have? We could go for the Griffin, but that's just a straight downgrade, I think. We could go for Cavalry Pegasus, but that would be a little bit too speculative. Yeah, let's just go for Sentry and see what happens. Black seems fairly open. Pharika's Cure and Cavan Lampard are both solid options. White will give us Leonin Snarecaster, and by picking the Snarecaster we could maybe try to stay in red. In red-white. But we really haven't seen any red in the last 2 packs, so that makes me hesitant to pick up a card that would support this red plan. So if you go white-black, I think there's also a decent heroic deck in white-black, and Pharika's Q I like in slower decks, basically. I'm just gonna go with the 2-drop. Who knows? This might have been a mistake. Griptide. I do like Griptide. I think Griptide's awesome. At this point, however, I don't know how well positioned we are to go into blue. Will be our 4th color. Or we could go blue-red or blue-white, maybe. The other option is Battlewise Valor, which I think is a fair amount weaker than Griptide. The green cards or the Satyr Rambler I think are just not on the same level. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for Griptide. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? Oh, that's a pretty late Stone Shock Giant. So maybe red is open after all. I don't think this Sentry of the Underworld is going to happen, but let's just go for Cost Sword really quickly. We don't have a 5-drop yet if we go for red-white, so this Stone Shock Giant might be useful down the line. We don't see any more blue cards in this pack at least. Chosen by Heliod would be good if we excuse me, would be good if we pick up more heroic stuff. And Rage, as I said before, is just not really what I like, so I'm just gonna go with the Stone Shock Giant and an Akron Hoplite 8-pick. That's a nice signal. Yeah, I think we're just gonna pick it. I like it more than Laguna Band Elder, and at this point I'm just gonna hide the blue and hide the black, I think, and just try to go for the old red-white beatdown plan, which I think we are fairly well set up to be in. Stone Shock Giant is a little bit expensive for these kind of decks, but we shall see. And we did wheel a Laguna Band Elder, which is a solid card. 3/2 for 3 is always at least playable. And there is this ladybug again on my screen, and it's following my cursor. Pity I can't screenshot that. But I think it's time for him or her to leave. You're gonna be happier outside in nature than you are in my stinky, smoky room. So, goodbye, Mr. or Mrs. Ladybug. Ah, it won't let go. Help! Oh, did I kill it? No, still alive. Ah, never mind. After this short incident, we are faced with the option of a Forest Warden and a Sideboard Demolish. I'm just gonna go for the Warden. Sometimes I play this card mainboard. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. Oh, this is actually pretty interesting. Akron Crusader, I really don't know how I feel about this guy. I think every time I play it, it just feels so weak. But I've heard players tell me that they just had blowout draws with this thing. So I'm gonna give it another shot and see if we can make it work in this build. It does work with Akron Hoplite pretty well, and with the other cards somewhat. We don't have anything that triggers heroic yet, which is a concern, but we don't have to play it. And the second Laguna Band Elder is decent, but kind of whatever. And this looks not really typical for a red-white heroic aggro deck, but we shall see. I like our cards. Our cards are fairly strong, except for this Ephros Warden. Cavalry Pegasus looks like it could do some work in this deck. I don't like Last Breath. I like Last Breath against the heroic deck, but in the heroic deck I don't really like it. Cavalry Pegasus works pretty well with Akron Hoplite. And the tokens from Akron Crusader are unfortunately just soldiers and no human soldiers, because that would be a nice little combo. Yeah, Simon Gertzen recently talked about Leonin Snarecaster versus Traveling Philosopher, and about normally this card is way better, but if you have enough Pegasi, you could easily just pick Philosopher over it. I'm gonna pick Viper's Kiss here, because it deals with our stuff, and a Satyr Rambler. I did play this card before and I was not unhappy with it. It's just a Goblin Piker with upside. Sometimes you need a Goblin Piker. Yeah, and back on the aggro train. I don't really like aggro in this format, to be honest. Even though there's not that many removal spells, there are a lot of good defensive creatures that can just slow you down so much. And I just didn't have much success with white-based aggro decks or red-based aggro decks overall. But we shall try again. Yeah, the gods obviously want us to draft this. Blame it on the gods as usual. Okay, so this is interesting. We could either pick, I think the picks between Coordinated Assault and Observant Alset, with the Alset being the more conservative option. Coordinated Assault gets way better as soon as you have enough heroic, but we don't have that much heroic right now. To be honest, we only have one, and we don't even know if we're gonna play it, because as I said, I'm not in love with this card. I don't hate it, but still. I think I'm just gonna go with the Owl set. It's a little bit more conservative, but it's also good in a heroic deck because bestow for 5 is you can easily just reach that, and if you put this on your Winged Steed Rider turn 5, it's basically Serra Angel, which is also pretty strong. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Owl set. I think Coordinator Soul is maybe better in a vacuum. Jesus Christ! Okay, this is a pack. This is a pack. I mean, it's Fabled Hero for us, not close, but still. There's Ordeal of Perforos, there's Fanatic of Mogus, God's Willing are all for us, and then for other people there's also Voyage's End, and maybe Tormented Hero. Yeah, this is a real pack. No green cards, which is interesting. But yeah, for us it's going to be Fabled Hero. That guy's basically the nuts. And Anax and Kimedi. Yeah, okay. Okay. Take it as a sign. This card is pretty naughty. Last time I had it, I got defeated pretty early on. I think wrong one, but still. Okay. Okay. We got it. We know what to do now. Just pick up a lot of stuff that triggers heroic and go with that. I don't think we're gonna need this Aphros Warden, so I'm just gonna hide it. Not sure about this Akron Crusader either. Now I really wish I would have picked this the Coordinated Assault, but still. I mean, Observant Alsa is still strong. Huh. Holy. Yeah, those were 2 picks. It's not every day you get past 2 sick rares in your colors. Like Runner sick, Insano rare. Well, we take it. Stone Trick Giant might just be a little bit too expensive for this kind of deck. Who knows? Here it's between God's Willing and another Akron Crusader. And I don't think we really want another Crusader. I mean, it has a nice synergy with Annex and Kimedi, and also Akron Hoplite. But I think God's Willing is just more of what we're looking for right now. We already have 12 creatures, and not much that triggers heroic. So let's just go with God's Willing. I like the card a lot. I think it's very strong. And as I said, Akron Crusader. To me, it just seems like a Miser card. I mean, sometimes you get it early, you put something on it, you get a hasty guy, and then you get some way of leveraging your hasty guys into more damage, like these guys over here. But sometimes it just doesn't do anything, and it's just a 1/1 that gets you incidental 1/1s from time to time, and that just doesn't seem like something to be very excited about. But still, I think we're gonna play it in this deck. Another Akron Hoplite is pretty clearly the choice. Tessin Battle Priest is basically unplayable. I think it's nice to sideboard in it in the mirror, but even then, Laguna Band Elder is dime a dozen. Priest of Aras is nothing to be all that excited about either. An Akron Hoplite is pretty strong in this deck. Cavalry Pegasus is looking awesome, like lifting up Annex and Comedy, Fabled Heroes, Double Hoplite. Yeah, this guy's looking great. I think the weakest card here, or the first ones I will cut, are probably the Crusader and the Satyr Rambler. And then maybe the Stone Trick Giant because it's expensive. But let's see how many cards we do have to cut in the end. Huh. So, not too bad, not too bad. And here, it's basically nothing. It's Glare of Heresy or a Peak Eruption for the sideboard, or a mediocre guy for the main. But we have 15 playables out of 20, so I think we're gonna be fine on playables. So I think we can afford to just pick a good sideboard card in Glare of Heresy. Yeah, that seems reasonable. I don't like Peak Eruption, I never brought it in basically. Oh, hello. Hello. Ordeal versus God's Willing, I think, is pretty clearly the Ordeal. There's also Fanatic of Mogus, but I think that's not even in contention. We need stuff to trigger heroic, and Ordeal of Perforos is basically one of the best heroic enablers out there. It can just lead to so many undealable board states. Like if you put that on an early thing or on a Fabled Hero, it's just the nuts basically. And we already have a God's Willing. So yeah, Ordeal of Perforos. This deck is coming together quite nicely. Double Emissary, also always nice. And we also have a decent amount of late game with all these bestow and monstrosity things up here, which is something these decks often are lacking. Like, you do a lot of damage in the early game, but then if you can't win, the green decks just take over in the late game. Maybe we can avoid that by playing this big dude. He looks pissed. Throwing down pillars and all that stuff. Okay, so here we could pick another Laguna Band Elder just for the curve, or another Akron Crusader. This is interesting. I think I'm gonna pick the Akron Crusader just for the upside of being insane. I don't know if we're gonna run them, but another Laguna Band Elder seems kind of unnecessary. I mean, he's not even that strong. As a 3/2 for 3, I mean, there's more exciting stuff. And maybe we do end up with a deck that can support the Akron Crusader plan. Also with double Crusader, double Hoplite, it's starting to get interesting. If we pick up more cheap heroic triggers that replace themselves, like Dragon Mantle. Yeah, I would really love Dragon Mantle here. Dragon Mantle and Titan Strength are basically what we're looking for right now. But there's none of them in that pack. So we just go with either Rambler, Deathblow Raider, Bronze Sable. Like, all mediocre 2-drops. Which one is the best of these mediocre 2-drops? I really don't like attacking each turn. If I can't regenerate it, in even less. And Sable Rambler is not really close. So just go for another Rambler. A Spark Jolt is playable at least. There's also a Prescient Chimera. I really... This card also went down on my pick list. Like 3 or 4 ranks at least. I thought it was great first, but 3, 4 for 5 turns out that it's just not big enough. Oh, hello, Dragon Mantle. Where have you been all the time? So we're gonna hide the Spark Jolt. We're not running that main board ever. Return Centaur does block some of our stuffs, but Cutthroat Maneuver can just blow you out. I'm gonna pick the Priest here. I'm not planning to play that one. What else can we cut? We could probably cut these Satyr Ramblers, but I'm gonna leave them in just for good measure. But I think we're gonna be able to pick up 4 cards out of the last pack, even though we got most of our insane cards in the second one. Messenger Speed. I talked with my friends about which card is the worst one, and this one, many of them came up with Messenger Speed, but I think in a deck that really desperately needs a way to trigger heroic, you could play Messenger Speed, I think. I'm not sure about that though. So Daxos of Meletis, our nice looking Brazilian guy down there with his dreadlocks and things like that. But not gonna pick that one. I think choice between Dragon Mantle and Leonin Snarecaster, and I'm just gonna go for Dragon Mantle. We have a lot of heroic, like the 2 Crusaders, these 2 guys. We really need ways to trigger heroic, and Dragon Mantle is one of the best ones. Leonin Snarecaster is nice, but we have a lot of mediocre 2-drops as well, and I don't think that guy is much better than these Satyr Ramblers. Flamespeaker Adept is also something to consider, but I'm not in love with this thing. It's a human, it's good with Cavalry Pegasus, but still, Dragon Mantle is just way more important, I think. It's a little bit unexciting to first pick a Dragon Mantle, but still. Okay, so the mediocre picks continue. It's Spear Point, Aurea, Battlewise Valor, or Minotaur Skull Cleaver. Which one of these do we want? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-ish cheap ways to trigger heroic, which I think is not really enough. On the other hand, we only have 4 heroic cards, so it might just be enough, and we might just pick them up anyways. But we also have 15 creatures, which seems like it's enough. This pick is pretty close. We could just go for the Aureat because it fills both roles, but I don't think this card is all that powerful. Still, Bestow is pretty deceptively powerful because it's just sometimes just card advantage. And here again, Skull Cleaver versus Valor. I think right now I'm gonna go for Valor. I don't like Skull Cleaver all that much. It just fails to impress. Okay, this is very interesting. It's another Ordeal of Purpose or Hopeful Eidolon or God's Willing. I think God's Willing is right out just because these two cards are so powerful. The Hopeful Eidolon can just win the game on its own, basically, if you put it on something like a Fabled Hero or Wingsteed Rider, which we don't have, unfortunately. We don't have, to be honest, we don't have any evasion. if I look at this closely, so I think I'm just gonna go for the other Ordeal because it works better with the Akron Crusaders. But this could go either way. I think these cards are equal on power level, but Ordeal is, I think, better in our deck. And another Cavalry Pegasus. I'm gonna pick that over Rage of Purphoros. I'm not planning on running the Rage of Purphoros, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 humans already. I don't know if we're gonna run double Pegasus, but I know I'm not gonna run Rage of Purphoros. I just don't like the card at all. Two-headed Cerberus is somewhat has heroic. I mean, double strike makes it really rewarding to put pump spells on it, so it has pseudo heroic in a way. But the double red is kind of annoying. I'm just gonna go for the Ill-Tempered Cyclops, I think. I don't think we're gonna play either of these cards, but the Ill-Tempered Cyclops is just a little bit more solid. So I think the people to our right were probably in white, because we didn't get much white. But I still think we were able to profit enough from the second pack to get a pretty strong deck here. Borderland Minotaur is decent, and we could go for another 2 Cerberus, but I really don't think I'm going to play that guy. Now I'm just going to pick a sideboard card in Ray of Disillusion. Maybe we do need it. Pharika's Cure is pretty annoying to play against. It's one of the best cards against these kind of decks. Also with double Ordeal. Like putting an Ordeal on a Crusader early on is just asking to get blown out by this card, by Pharika's Cure. So here, what do we cut? I think we're gonna cut both Satyr Ramblers. I just like the Cavalry Pegasi a little bit more in this deck, also because they have evasion, and then they just seem more relevant. Now we're down to 24 cards, and I think it's probably the Ill-Tempered Cyclops. So this is our deck. Yeah, this seems reasonable. We could also cut this Borderland Minotaur and put one of the cheap guys in instead. Yeah, we shall see. But this looks like a nice shell. Okay. So we found our missing card. Now we can cut the Borderland Minotaur. I think the pump spell is way better. What card is best against us? I don't think we need another priest if we're not even gonna play the first one. This Triton Shore Thief could actually be annoying, blocking our Akron Crusaders and the tokens. Who knows? Spark Jolt, maybe we need a second copy to board in against whatever. I never seen that guy get cast. That guy was never cast against me ever, and I resolved a fair amount of mnemonic walls. So. And Asphodel Wanderer. I bought the Asphodel Wanderer in once against the green deck when I was like a black control deck, and it was fairly okay. So I think this is what we're looking at. It looks solid. Looks pretty solid. So Emissary's in, Hero is in, Alstead is in, Elder is in, both Valors, both Pegasi, I think, the Snarecaster, the God's Willing, and then these 3 guys, the Emissary, the Oread, the Lightning Strike, both Ordeals, the Satyr Rambler probably not, both Dragon Mantles, both Crusaders. So that's 23 cards, and I think that's okay. Yeah, I like 17 lands as a minimum in this format. I prefer 18, not in aggro decks, but most decks I prefer 18. Curve looks pretty nice. We could lower the curve by running these Satyr Ramblers, and we could also put in some more high end. Let's see what their options are. These are mostly sideboard cards. The Priest is also mostly a sideboard card. But I never actually bothered that in. I either played it main board or not at all. So these are our options. No, I actually like all the cards in here. The Cavalry Pegasite Akron Crusader plan, I don't know how good this is going to be. But we need something early to pull on the ordeals. And I just prefer putting it on evasion guys instead of 2-1 tramplers that can just be traded with. And putting it on this guy at least keeps you from getting completely blown out. Of course, I would love to put these on stuff that's a little bit more sturdy, like a Fabled Hero or anything, or something like that. But yeah, I think this deck looks pretty sweet. So I don't think I want to change anything. So let's go for color sorting. It's pretty even on white and red, with this guy on double white, but red 1-drops, right? Yeah, we have 1, 2, 1, 2 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm gonna go for 1 more planes, just because of this Fabled Hero. I'm not sure if this is correct, because we do have the Akron Crusaders and the Dragon Mantles, which are pretty taxing on the red. Actually, I think we should just go for 1 more red, because we have these Dragon Mantles and we have ways to put our red mana into. Modo actually disagrees. How rude of you, Modo. I think I'm gonna go with 9-8. The only thing that changes is that it's going to be harder to keep up God's Willing and to resolve Fabled Hero, but I still think with 8 planes we should resolve Fabled Hero almost every time. And as I said, I really would like to hit these guys early, and also use the Dragon Mantles to pump them, or to pump the thing that the Mantle's enchanting. And we need that thing again. Okay. Yeah, I think this is correct. It could go either way though. So yeah, this is my deck. Let me know if you would have built anything differently. But for the time being, I'm going to submit that and see you guys for round 1. So we are back and looking at this hand. His hand seems okay, not overwhelming. But at least we have this nice little 1-2 punch of Cavalry Pegasus and Akron Hoplite, and Dragon Mantle is going to draw us another card, so I think we're going to keep it. Oh, you could tell me without mulligan. No mulligans. I think I misclicked on that one on camera before. I don't know why this starts happening to me. Never did before, or almost never did. So, woohoo! Combo time! Boom! For Akros, for the glory of Akros, we shall smite you, villain. Let's hope he doesn't have a 2 that can tangle with that profitably, which he does. He has the perfect 2, to be honest. Okay, so we have the choice of playing Dragon Mantle or Hoplite this turn. Or Cavalry Pegasus or Hoplite. I think Pegasus is just way better because it allows us to attack him next turn. He's gonna scry 2, puts 1 on top pretty fast and tanks about the other one, puts that 1 on top as well. So yeah. So now we can either we could also go for Hoplite, then put Dragon Mantle on this thing and God's Willing it to get a lot of tokens. But I think going with Pegasus here is just a little bit more solid. If he doesn't have a flyer, we can start attacking next turn. It's going to turn out quite nicely. Let's see if he has anything. The 2-drop Nymph would be quite annoying here. Question is also if we put Dragon Mantle on this thing next turn. I think I'm gonna pass on that probably. If we draw planes, it's pretty obvious. Oh, he just Voyages enters. Okay. And puts the card on top. And does he battle? Yeah, he does. Okay. So now we actually could put Dragon Mantle on this thing. Just getting for one more point of damage, optimizing our mana. Yeah, I think this is right. So put the mantle on here. Get ourselves a sweet little 1/1 dude. And draw a card. A mountain. Okay, so now we could play Hoplite or Cavalry Pegasus. I think Pegasus is better here. Next time we can cast Hoplite and attack and pump twice. This is gonna be sweet. So smack him for 2 and see what he can come up with. Is it the Bestow Nymph? That would be pretty annoying, to be honest. The Bestow Nymph would be terrible for us. See, this is why I don't like aggro. They just put something like this in front of you and you just fizzle in a way. But I think this is in my general preferences for draft. I just prefer control over aggro almost every time. Artisan of Forms, so this can turn into something else if he targets it. So he could basically turn into a Pegasus, get flying, and together with the Palm Spell could try to trade with something. But we have this Gods winning. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna see if he has anything. Depends on what we draw, of course. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna smack with everything, even though it's pretty much telegraphing that he does have something. Otherwise, he would just stay back with the Omen Speaker to at least block a soldier, I think. Because I don't think he wants to go for the races. Oh, we draw an Ordeal of Perforos. Okay, that's something. So now we can cast the Ordeal on our Crusader, and then give it pro white if this guy turns into this guy, or cast the Hoplite if nothing happens. Yeah, I think this is correct. I think just maximizing our damage output is correct right here. So Ordeal this thing up, keep up the Gods winning. Ourselves a sweet little token. Come on, guy. Oh, by the way, this is a beating. This combo here is a real beating. With these many guys on the board, we could just dome him for a bunch. But I'm pretty positive that we do need that we will need this Gods winning in this combat step. So get a counter on my guy. I think he has Savage Search on the Artisan, and it's just planning to block one of our guys. No, he has Savage Search on the Omen Speaker even. Okay. So we have to use this Gods winning right now. I think he's gonna block the Akron Crusader, which is actually pretty nice because we get another free token out of the deal. Oh no, this guy's flying. What am I talking about? Yeah, what am I talking about even? Yeah, of course he can block one of my tokens, I don't care. So we're gonna take 5. I think this is not what he wanted to do. I think he didn't think about the flying. I mean, basically what this did is trade a Savage Search for a token, and that can't be right. Out for an Hoplite. Played the land already, pretty sure. Yeah, so a pretty commanding position. But damage output is fine. His blockers are not the best, and he's really under pressure to do something here. He has a feral invocation on the artisan, turning it into what? A cavalry Pegasus? No, into a hoplite. So does he? He's trying to go for the races here, I think. It's a 3-4. This is only until end of turn, huh? No? No, it's forever. I thought it was only until end of turn. So he attacks us for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's fine. I think we can raise that. Pretty sure we can raise that. I mean, he could have another Voyage's End, but we have this God's Willing. So if he tries to blow us out with it, we can re-blow out him. Or however you say that. So let's just race. Let's just not care and race. I think the triggers are pretty arbitrary. Oh, I see. Yeah, we should have played a mountain before combat to pump up our guy. Yeah, that was pretty lame. Let's see, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. And now he's gonna Voyage's End it. No Voyage's End. Man, he's at 1. Jeez, we messed that one up. Jeez, we messed that up so bad. Oh man, we could have killed him. Now if he comes back and kills us, I don't know how this will happen. But if he does, we're gonna hate ourselves. We could have killed him 2 different ways this turn. But we win anyways, so there is that. Apologize for that once again. I think my sequencing and overall my concentration, my mechanical play has really suffered in the past. I don't know why, but it's just a fact. But still, so he's green blue controlish, and he's gonna be on the play. So I'm thinking about just cutting the Crusaders and go for a little bit more late game in like this guy or this guy. But I was pretty satisfied in how this last game went. So I think I'm just gonna keep it as it is. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna run back the original 40. His hand seems really slow, but we have a 2-drop, a God's Willing, and some late game and perfect mana, so I don't think we want to mulligan this. He mulligans to 6, and is tanking about mulliganing to 5. So let's see. Oh, double hoplite. Is that good? I don't know. It's a sincere question. I don't know if that's good. I mean, this guy's basically a Goblin Piledriver, yeah? Like, with basically Goblin Piledriver, I mean way not Goblin Piledriver. There's the old artisan of forms again. So, oh, hello there, Ordeal. Ordeal is gonna be sick. So I think next turn we still just play Hoplite and keep open God's Willing. But of course it depends on what he does right now. Does he go for the old Feral Invocation and race plan again? Oh, he goes for the race plan, but a different race plan. Aqueous Form makes it unblockable and he gets to scry every turn. This card I think is underestimated, because some games it just makes it impossible for your opponent to ever beat you, because unblockable is just a really big deal. And even though the card doesn't replace itself, still triggers heroic, and scrying a couple of times is sort of replacing itself. I think this card is undervalued a fair amount. I see it's very late in almost all of my drafts, and I think it shouldn't go that late. So we obviously can't block it because it's unblockable. Meh. So now double ordeal. Jeez. Yeah, I think we're now just gonna go for hoplite and bash with the hoplite. Hoplite, 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 hoplite. Hoplite's a nice word. He could have the Savage Search. Oh, he has God's Willing. Voyager's End. And we could God's Willing this thing right now. This is interesting. Yeah, I think we can blow this God's Willing. I think we can do that. Why would he God's Willing the one that's summoning sick? I really don't get it. Let's put that guy on the bottom. I was assuming that he Voyages ended the one that that could attack this turn. Why would he do that? I don't know. But I think we're just gonna go for the double ordeal plan, and just beat him down as fast as possible. And we still have this Stone Chuck Giant, which could come in handy. Although we just put a mountain on the bottom, which makes it much less likely that we can ever activate this guy. But it's good as a 5/4 as it stands. Because he continues the races. I think he's gonna hate his life soon when we double ordeal him. We could also put both ordeals on the same guy, which makes it so that the triggers go off earlier. But I think just making bigger guys overall is gonna be more profitable. Yeah, he really has to come up with something here. And it's likely that he does because he scries every turn. But he doesn't for some reason. Huh. So now we could go for Perforos's Emissary or double ordeal. How likely is it that he has another Voyager's End? What is pretty likely is that he has a Savage Search. But then that just trades, right? Yeah, it just trades. And if that's the worst case, I'm willing to take that. So let's go for double ordeal plan here. Oh, he has another Voyager's End. Okay. Oh, that sucks. That really sucks. So now we can just replay the hoplite, or we can ordeal the hoplite. I think we're just going to replay the hoplite and smack with my other hoplite. All the creatures on the board are hoplites. Yeah, I didn't know how likely it was that he has another Voyager's End. But in retrospect, I obviously would have preferred to just cast the Perforos's Emissary. Also because, nah, it's basically just hindsight. And hindsight is always easy. So now, next turn, question is if we go for ordeal or for just cast Emissary. This is tough. Or maybe just cast Stone Chuck Giants if we draw Stone Chuck Giant if we draw the land, and then if we draw another land we can go Emissary and ordeal in the same turn, which is better for our mana. This guy costs 7 to bestow, which is a lot. So we're very far away from doing that. Meanwhile he's Warrior's Lesson. Let's see which lesson the warriors are gonna teach you today. Yeah, we attack for 6 next turn, 7 if we can get the ordeal off, and then for 8 next turn, which is not lethal. Huh. Then again, now we can blow him out if he has Savage Search. So let's just go for that. I think he doesn't have a third Voyager's End, right? He can't have a third Voyager's End. Who has 3 Voyager's Ends? That's just dirty. So triggers on the stack. Boom, boom, boom. And he has nothing. He has nothing. He takes 7, takes 8 next turn. He could just go for the Valor right now. But let's not. I think we're gonna need that later. And also if he has something like Time to Feed, this could come in handy. But I think we're gonna need it this turn. I think he's gonna attack us and play a big guy, and then we're pretty happy to still have the Battle-Wise Valor. Because he's gonna block the one with the Ordeal on it. Almost certainly. Fade into Antiquity on the Ordeal. Yeah, that's okay. That's bueno. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so that's exactly lethal. So if he has nothing, he dies. At least if he attacks, and I think he's going to attack. I mean, what else? No, no, he's not even going to. He's in jump block mode already, which is also fine with me. Let's see, if we put Dragon Mantle on this thing, it's never going to be lethal. Because if he decides to just jump block, it's basically the same thing. And I'd much rather just cast Perforos's Emissary to have a huge, almost unblockable guy here. And if he takes it, I'm just gonna give him the third Voyage then. I'm not gonna try and kill him. But he has to block, I think, yeah. He's down to 6. The question is, do we play around and all? I don't think we do. Just cast the Emissary. Does he have the annul? No. Okay. But this looks good. I like our position. Yeah, I think this is over. I think this is over, Mr. Bintang. But there's still Sea God's Revenge. Man, Sea God's Revenge is just the worst. If he plays Sea God's Revenge, we're just gonna throw up our lunch all over the computer. Yeah, so he doesn't have it and just dies, right? Yeah, he's an empty hand. So we just put Mantle on this thing here. Do you want to go through this? You have no cards in hand, dude. Yeah, we might play on. We might just play on for a little bit. But yeah, let's end this. Playtime's over. Hoplites incoming for the glory of Akros. So a heroic victory for the home team. A heroic victory for the home team. Oxen and humans working together. Boom. So that was round 1. And see you guys for round 2 in just a second. This one's for me and you. Round 2 on the play. Round 2. This hand is the nuts. No mulligans here. Playing against Matthias 01. That sounds dodgy. That sounds really dodgy. Show a little politeness. Forgot to do that in the last round. I apologize. Always like to be polite. And Mr. Matthias is considering his opening hand in terms of whether to mulligan or not, while we are sitting here and watching this nice green golfy or pool tabley background of his park. And he kept his 7. Nice. We're gonna run out the mountain and probably play the Akron Hoplite next turn. Yeah. Oh, hello, Fabled Hero. Let's see if it's your time to shine. We need a second planes for that, but we hopefully get one. There we are. And he's green-white, so that really lowers his chances of dealing with this Fabled Hero. Yes, good, good. Don't deal with it. Please don't deal with it. Laguna Band Elder, we don't care at all. So basically what this means is that we get to mantle up this guy. It makes it a 3/3 double strike. And play a mountain just for good measure. I'm gonna hit him. He can't really block. And we won't pump, because we're gonna puke out a hand this turn. And maybe just kill him next turn, right? 3, 10, yeah, we just straight up kill him turn 5. If he doesn't do anything about it. Polukranos, okay. So his deck has some stuff to offer as well. But we just straight up kill him turn 5, which is nice. So pump, pump, F6, smack. There you have it. And boom. That was satisfying. That was really satisfying. Oh dear God. Good old beatings. So Polukranos, right? And he's white, so we could board in this Glare of Heresy. Not that it does anything against good old Poly. But we're gonna board in nonetheless. Take out maybe this time an Acron Crusader, because he probably has 2/2s and things like that. Could board out both. They just seem pretty suboptimal. I think we're gonna leave one in just for the ordeals and everything. Oriad seems kind of weak as well. Yeah, let's just do that. If he has 2/2s, then our 1/1s are really not doing all that much. He chooses to play first, and we have a 5-lander. I don't think we can keep that. 5-landers are really suboptimal, because if his land is better, way better. Yeah, the thing with 5-landers is you draw one more land, and then you basically draw a dead card. His hand is still not optimal, but at least it's better than our first one. And he has a Philosopher? No, Leaf Right. Okay. I think his deck is definitely well equipped to deal with ours. But still, we have some stuff going for us. But he has Polukranos, which is basically a beating. Huh. This is interesting. He wants to go for the races, or he wants to blow us out with Savage Search, but then we can cast the Valor. We definitely just attack here. If he searches us, we just Valor him. And we even get the Scry. Yeah, he does. He does have Savage Search. Okay. Yeah, it's too bad that we don't straight up kill his guy. But there you are. Put this on the bottom because I think we have enough lands for now. And then we probably just run out Perforos' Emissary this turn. Seems reasonable. And he has nothing on turn 4. So he might just be on all lands, or all 5-drops, or he might just throw down Polukranos. That's also something. Huh. Are we going to run out this guy as well? I think so. First I want to see what he has. Probably a Divine Verdict would be my guess. There he comes. Divine Verdict, or just nothing. Nothing. Huh, interesting. So run out the land and cast this without bestow, I think. I think this is going to do just fine. Let's see if he offers up something for us to cast Glare of Heresy on. Oh, there comes the 6-drop. Oh no, it's Polukranos. The original. So it's 1, 2, if he has another land he can kill off one of our guys, which sucks. But that's how it is. Meanwhile, our emissaries are gonna work on him. Yeah, this guy's a beating. I once run this guy out turn 3 off of a Voyaging Satyr against a friend of mine in the quarterfinals of a PTQ. Needless to say, he wasn't too happy about it. We run out both Pegasi. If he wants to, he can just battle them away. But if he wants to do that, so be it. Then at least our Heliod. I think it's pretty crucial for us to keep around Heliod's emissary. And if he doesn't have a 7th land, he can't deal with Heliod's emissary. What is this? Last breath, okay. Don't care about last breath. Okay, so now we can deal with Heliod's emissary, but we still get him for 4. That's at least something. I think if I were him, I would just monstrous it right now and attack. Go for the races. Because he's racing us right now. I mean, this guy is getting huge. There's like 3 attacks. And we're on 3 attacks as well. So he has something to follow us up. This is gonna go bad for us. Yeah, he does it. There's no point of not doing it. God's Willing is hard for him here, but if we don't have God's Willing, yeah, so he just kills off the emissary would be my guess, and then just attacks us for 8. Yeah, that's exactly what he does. So boom, go old Polly. Meanwhile, we are drawing lands, which is not the best. But we're still racing him, right? No, 8. Then we attack for 4, and we need a guy to definitely race him. Yeah, he's winning the race right now. So we need something to put us back into the driver's seat. Best case is he plays a white, really expensive guy right now. No, he plays a green expensive guy. Okay. Hoplite. Hoplite is interesting because it's gonna deal 1, 2, 3, 4 together with the cavalry Pegasus. So we just have to chump block Polychronos if he attacks, and then if he plays a white guy that doesn't have if he plays a white guy or a guy without evasion, let's see, if we attack with both here, we put him to 3, right? And then this Perforos' emissary is basically going to be lethal, unless he has another green blocker, or he for some reason doesn't attack with Polychronos, but I can't imagine why he would do that. If we play the Hoplite, we actually force him to attack with Polychronos. Yeah, so that seems reasonable. What happens if we just attack with Perforos' emissary? Then he goes to 4, and we can't then kill him with Perforos' emissary. So I really think we have to attack with both. And he still has 2 cards in hand, and if they're anything good, we just lose here. Yeah, this guy's a beating. Polychronos is really just not fair. It's probably on the same level of unfairness as Fabled Hero. So cast the Hoplite and force him to attack, because if he doesn't, he dies off of this combination here. So he really has to attack, unless he has a reach guy. If he has a reach guy, he doesn't have to attack. If it's a white reach guy or a white flyer, then we win. This Glare of Heresy looks really stupid right now. I don't know if this was Akron Hoplite, if we would have just Akron Crusader, if we would just have 1. I don't remember what he played. I don't really remember what he played in the first game. Like Traveling Philosopher, like Owner Band Elder. He has some white permanents at least, so I think it's still legitimate to keep in the Glare of Heresy. Oh god. Okay, so we just die. Yeah, you got it. You got it. Oracross and die. That was close, actually. It's actually pretty close. So let's see. We don't have anything to deal with Polychronos, right? No. Oh, that guy just flat out destroys us. I don't think the Spark Shots are any good. I don't think the Ramblers are any good. I think his late game is better than our ill-tempered Cyclops. And I think this setup is I like this setup right here. Sounds okay. I would like to play first. This hand is decent. Not gonna mulligan it. He has some early drops and some late game with this Stone Shock Giant. It's not the best hand by far, but at least it's serviceable. So this guy is at least going to get 1 damage in and then take the disguise together with old Pegasus. He has, what does he have, a 1-2? That would be kinky. No, a 1-1. Okay. I think we're not gonna offer the trade because we can take the disguise next turn. So just pass. And does he have the bestowed right now? Then we can't take this guy. No, he has Glare of Heresy. Okay. So now we can offer the trade. Oh no, we could have taken the trade, but yeah, that might have been a minor mistake. I clicked through too fast. So we're gonna cast this Spear Point Oriat because we have nothing better to do. Next turn cast this Perforos' Emissary for the same reason. And hope this is another 3-3. No, it's a 3-2. That's fine. So we can attack with the Oriat. Yeah, I think we still want to beat down, especially with this Stone Shock Giant. I think we're still on the beat down plan. So cast the old Emissary, and then let's see what he can come up with. Hopefully not Polychronos for the 3rd time running. That would be rather kinky. We just take that. Yeah, just take 3. Not Polychronos. Yes, good. Oh, well, not good, but at least not Polychronos. So now do we attack with Oriat? Because I don't want to cast this all set. I really don't want to cast this all set. Because we can cast it next turn or the turn after that on our Emissary if we draw a land. Or if we draw a land, we'd rather just cast Stone Shock Giant, right? Huh, this is interesting. Well, I think this has more merit if we just keep it in our hand. So I'm just gonna swing with the Emissary. Check out if he goes for the double block. No, he doesn't. Okay. So far so good. I don't think we cast this Oriat. I think we want to keep the Vice Valor in case he goes for Palm Spell. No. Come on! 3 games running. That's just nasty. So now we're in trouble. Yeah, forget that out. If we put the all set on anything that doesn't change the combat math at all, he can Polychronos for 2 next turn, which is not the worst, I think. If we all set on this thing, if we attack with Perforos' Emissary, he's just gonna double block it with the 2 Elders, and then not even the Palm Spell can save it. So I think this is just wrong. I think we just have to run a Stone Shock Giant. Man, Polychronos 3 games running. That's a beating. But we can maybe fight through it with this Battle of Ice Valor. Dear me. Dear me. Deary, deary, deary me. What does he do? Is he monstrous his thing? No, just casts an Elias Emissary. So let's see, that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 damage on the board right now for us. It's not really enough. Oh, hello. That could change things big time. So if that costs 7 to bestow, right? If we bestow the all set on this guy, he can then still just double block, which doesn't really do all that much. I think we all set on the Oriat maybe. Let's see. We all set on this thing, and then he subsequently double blocks it, and we have the battle-wise valor ready. That has to be good. Just running out Heliod's Emissary right now seems decent as well. But I want to keep the bestow option available, I think. So I think I'm just gonna... I'll set this thing right here. Make it huge. And then not attack with it. Because he can just throw two things in front of it and we just lose it. So that's bad. Yeah, Polychronos is... I don't know how you beat this thing, really. But now we can attack. Right? Yeah, now we can attack and cast Valor. Which means that he has to put a lot of guys in front of it. So let's smack him. So he blocks it with double Laguna Band Elder. And he can't even use Polychronos to fight it, because it's just gonna die. Oh. Does he have another pump spell? He has a Ray of Disillusion. Okay. Yeah, that's bad. Oh, he played it on the... Oh, I see. I see. We don't even get to scry. Oh, that was bad. Instant speed enchantment removal just did us in here, I think. We get the Observant Owl set, but let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 8 is 13, 14, 15, 16, and he's on 24. I really don't know how we win this game, folks. I really don't know how. I think it has to involve casting this thing with bestow on something. And then activate Stone Shock Giant. But Polychronos is just going to take over the game here. Too bad. Yeah, instant speed enchantment removal just did us in here. I first thought he was playing around the owl set and didn't realize that this... Okay, this could maybe do something. This turns this into a 3 power first striker. Or gives us another guy. Let's see, can we reasonably get 24 damage? That's 8, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. We counted all our damages, it's 22. So we only need 2 more. But that involves us attacking 3 times with Ordeal. I think it's the only plan we have. But he still has this Polychronos around, so that plan doesn't sound like a plan at all. And I think just waiting kills us. What do we have to punch through? I really don't know. I think we just have to pass here. And hope to draw lands to bestow this Heliod's Emissary on something. To at least get some value out of it. And he doesn't seem to draw that much either. I think I would go a little bit more offensive with Polychronos if I were him. He does it for 1, 2, 3 right now. So if we Heliod's Emissary the Oriad, he kind of has to use it. So we could force the Polychronos right now. That sounds like a plan. Then at least we get to ordeal something the following turn. Because I've put it on the Stone Shock Giant, but then he would just triple block it. Yeah, he uses Polychronos right now. Yep. On this and this. Yeah, you can do it for 3. Yep. Okay. 5, 8, 10, 13. Huh. What is this? 6 drop, 7 drop thingy. Not that again. Come on. That's just nasty. That's just so nasty. Swings with everything. We have decent blocks, I think. We can block here and here and take 14. Far from decent. And we can't even kill him next turn. Yeah, so I think this is it. I think Polychronos has defeated the forces of Akros successfully. But that's how it works. World is a cruel place. And even a Scorpion for the Robins. And ooh, double ordeal. Yeah, I think there's no way we can survive that. But let's just hit him one last time. Boom, boom. Tap down this thing, put those on the stack, and F6. Okay folks, that was it. We got defeated by the Old World Eater, who, yeah, I mean, this card is pretty much the nuts. I don't know how you could ever beat it with a deck like ours, except for if you have a really fast draw. So yeah, that was it. I really like that deck, but apparently the gods were not with us today. Maybe we messed up at some point. That might well be. But anyways, this was done for MagicGatheringStrat. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching, and see you guys soon.